Ever since The Witcher Blood Origin came out on Netflix, it hasn't been well received. We think it is mostly to do with the fact that Henry Cavill was replaced by Liam Hemsworth as Geralt of Rivia. Even so, Netflix has announced a second season for the prequel series, and they couldn't have chosen a worse time. Stay tuned as we discuss why and much more. First up, why The Witcher prequel couldn't have come at a worse time. The timing of Netflix's release of The Witcher Blood Origin, the official prequel series to The Witcher, couldn't have been worse. The Witcher's first season, starring Henry Cavill as Geralt of Rivia and Freya Allan as his young ward Ciri, was a massive success for Netflix. It was no surprise that Netflix renewed the show and, taking it a step further, announced their aim to transform the series into the foundation for a huge franchise, given that third-party analytics placed it in the top 0.2% of TV series in terms of demand. Netflix has taken the right approach by providing tie-ins in the gaps between seasons of The Witcher, which have served as an important setup. As fans eagerly wait for the live-action premiere of The Witcher's Keep at Kaer Morhen in Season 2, the animated special The Witcher Nightmare of the Wolf gave a glimpse into Geralt's past and set the stage for what to expect from the upcoming second season. Andrzej Sapkowski's original novels left many questions unanswered about the conjunction of the spheres, but The Witcher Blood Origin will fill in the gaps and provide context for the dispersed elven individuals who will have a significant impact on Ciri's life. Because the prequel show premiered at the worst possible time, luck wasn't on the side of The Witcher and its tie-ins this time around. Followed by, The Witcher franchise took a massive blow when Henry Cavill left. Cavill made it very clear from the start that he's a fan of this series. His deep devotion to this franchise and his loyalty to the original material served as a sort of security blanket, no matter how much The Witcher went off course. Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich's show definitely went through some ups and downs, with Eskel dying and Yennefer losing her magical powers, but Cavill's presence gave fans some comfort that everything would turn out fine in this adaptation. The actor's exit announcement made that safety net feel much more fragile. Perhaps Season 3 will be more traditional than Season 2 was. It's more likely, though, that Hissrich and her team will keep moving this adaptation in a very different and dangerous direction. The Witcher series has had some great moments, like Shalotra's performance, and Joey Batey as Jaskier the Bard has been a real standout. But there have also been jumps in time that don't make sense, political discussions that are poorly or overly explained, and deaths of characters that don't make sense. Fans' worst fears may have come true as a result of Cavill's departure. This series doesn't have a big picture plan, and the plot will be very different from the book. Even though the audience has high hopes for the show, Cavill's departure is bad for its reputation. Cavill isn't simply the main attraction of a popular Netflix series, his character is the sole A-lister on this popular series. Moving on to, is The Witcher Blood Origin good enough? The Netflix prequel series isn't good enough to make sure that the franchise will keep going. The Witcher Blood Origin has gotten mostly bad reviews, with many pointing out that the story is predictable and that the characters aren't well-rounded. Even though Netflix commissioned 6 episodes of the show, the editing process reduced that number to 4 so that it'd be more concise, as creator Declan DeBera told Digital Spy. By doing so, the formulaic writing seems to have been emphasized, which has reduced the audience's ability to appreciate the characters' interactions. In particular, the love story between Fjall and Ellie suffers the most from the compression. The fact that this is the first time Netflix has told a tale in The Witcher's universe that doesn't involve Geralt in any way just adds to the problem. So Cavill's departure from The Witcher Blood Origin has only exacerbated the franchise's struggles without its main star. Netflix may have already cast Liam Hemsworth as Henry Cavill's replacement, but it really does seem that the viewer's interest in this fantasy world is decreasing day by day. It would have been much easier for Netflix to find a way to turn things around with a good third season if The Witcher Blood Origin had been released before Cavill's exit announcement. Even with its bad reviews, Blood Origin is still streaming on Netflix. There are a lot of Easter eggs and references in the series that fans might have missed, starting with, who is the storyteller in The Witcher Blood Origin? According to Netflix's official cast list, Sean Shea plays the role of the storyteller in The Witcher Blood Origin. This entity claims it can effortlessly travel the cracks between time and space, allowing it to collect tales that have been lost to the sands of time. Sean Shea, portrayed by Minnie Driver, may play a significant role in the sequel. Showrunner Lauren S. Hissrich said they're talking about bringing her back, so we might get some more hints soon. Some viewers have drawn comparisons between Sean Shea and the mysterious being Gaunter O'Dim from The Witcher 3, while others see a connection to the mysterious creature Bruess from the same game. Moving on to, Jaskier initially believes the storyteller is a Doppler. Jaskier's first guess doesn't come as a surprise, because the storyteller initially takes on his own shape, which is why he says she's a Doppler. Dopplers, a race of shapeshifters who can take on the identities of others, played a significant role in the first season of The Witcher and proved to be effective hunters. Sean Shea claims that there is another explanation for why she assumed the identity of Jaskier. She does this to make others feel at ease by adopting the appearance they prefer, and he's an egoist. Followed by, the storyteller refers to Jaskier as the Sandpiper. The cameo appearance of Jaskier in The Witcher Blood Origin not only helps tie together the game's several plot lines, but also hints at his role in history. The storyteller is a story collector who refers to Jaskier as the Sandpiper, much as she does to Ellie the Lark. This could be a sign that Jaskir's heroic deeds as a friend of the elves are more significant to history than he understands, and that the one who enjoys singing songs will one day be the subject of stories and songs as the beloved sandpiper. Next up, Zintrea is the elven name for Cintra. The main story of The Witcher Blood Origins takes place 1200 years before the present, in the last days of elf rule. Zintrea, a city seen frequently during the show, becomes the center of the new Golden Empire founded by Princess Merwin and High Priest Balor. For those unfamiliar with The Witcher, Zintrea is the elven name for Cintra, the city that Nilfgaard sacked in Episode 1. Princess Ciri rules over the kingdom of Cintra, which will clearly remain a crucial region in the history of the continent. Moving on, Ithlinne is introduced in The Witcher Blood Origin. Ella Shrey Yates plays Ithlinne, a seer in The Witcher Blood Origin. Ithlinne, portrayed as a friend of the Witcher's, sends the Lark on her quest and predicts that the Lark's offspring will one day pose a threat to all of creation. Some of Ithlinne's other prophecies have been remembered, but this one was forgotten until the storyteller told Jaskir the Song of the Seven. The most well-known prophecy related to Ithlinne also has to do with Ciri. According to an ancient elven prophecy, the wolf's blizzard approaches the time of the sword and axe. Ted Dirad, the time of endless madness and disdain, the time of white frost and white light, the old world will freeze to death, and the new one will be born under the new sun, born again from a seed of Hen Icair's elder blood, a sprouting seed that would instead explode into flames. Followed by Avallac'h and Eredin are important figures in The Witcher. Avallac'h and Eredin are two elves introduced in The Witcher Blood Origin who are scattered across time and space due to the conjunction of the spheres. Regardless of the fact that Eredin technically only found out about Ciri at the end of The Witcher Season 2, the post-credit scene for Blood Origin implies that Avallac'h has already begun to focus on her, feeling her potential. He guides the Wild Hunt as they travel across dimensions in search of prey. The third season of The Witcher will likely feature him prominently. Next up, Blood Origin mentions Brokilon Forest. It makes sense that the majority of locations in The Witcher Blood Origin remain unnamed. After all, these are elven names, and the story of The Witcher is portrayed from a human point of view. But the Brokilon Forest stands out as a key exception because it's mentioned in Blood Origin and is prophesied to be the last stronghold of elves on the continent. Considering its significance in Sapkowski's books, Brokilon Forest may very well return in Blood Origin. Moving on to the first trial of the grasses. Witchers are created after they undergo the trial of the grasses, and the version shown in The Witcher Blood Origin is a somewhat rough and ready affair. It's interesting since it involves Faenawed, a flower that fans of The Witcher may recognize from the second season of The Witcher. Legends say that the Faenawed only grows in Dol B'Thana and has something to do with the Elder Blood. Vesemir and the other Witchers were surprised to find these flowers growing where Ciri's blood had been spilled, which hinted at her true nature. Finally, the Poisoned Sheep Plan. Monsters are a necessary part of the Witcher's narrative, and the beast that Balor has released seems to be a dragon-like creature. Brother Death suggests poisoning a sheep and feeding it to the dragon. This idea was taken straight from the books. A shepherd in Sapkowski's The Bounds of Reason actually poisoned a sheep and gave it to a dragon to kill it, and he tried to do the same thing when a second dragon attacked. It's funny that this story, to which Geralt opposed, makes an appearance in The Witcher Blood Origin. That's a wrap for this video. What are your thoughts on The Witcher Blood Origin? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.